All right. Hello once again. Good to see everybody, or see everybody's screens at least. Hey, just want to quickly say how grateful I am to our staff, athletic training, sports performance, operations, the job that they did that goes unseen by everyone in gathering Uncrustables, sandwiches, drinks, you name it. The job done by all team doctors to have our team ready, hydrated, nutrition value still up, and to handle a break that long and to come out to play the level we did is a huge testament to our players and our staff. So I want to say that and say thank you to them, and a special shout out also to our fans and families that all traveled over to Clemson, South Carolina to support us. We felt you all there. What a cool run in from halftime, and certainly in the delay, and here the Trojan Nation at high volume was really cool. So very grateful to them as well. And to our staff and players, very proud of the steps taken from week 1 to week 2. We certainly have much to clean up in the areas of discipline and execution, but our energy and effort and the steps taken towards improvement and better certainly were seen on the tape after the game from week 1 to week 2. Those same steps must be made. We're on our way to attacking those right now this week, and we'll head to that in the afternoon's practice. But in many ways, very pleased with steps taken. But again, we must take steps towards discipline and execution better to continue to play better football and winning football, because as I stated after the game, winning and losing matter to us. They're byproducts of the work put in during the weeks, but losing is never acceptable here, and we'll certainly attack that with absolute vigor that we have from January on. So with that, I'll take questions today. Thank you.
Hey, Gerad, this is John in Dothan. I wanted to ask you if you would speak on the performance of Luke Hodge and how he's progressed to earn more playing time.
Well, Luke had two, what you would call on defense, certainly two explosive plays, John. I mean, for him to textbook in our ball disruption, how he ripped the ball out on the 4th down run and got the ball free was an exceptional play, and one that we work on daily in our ball disruption exercises on defense, and he executed it wonderfully. And then the tip ball that he gets, which he will tell you he may or may not have been in that position, but he made do of a good position. Both of them did a great job getting hands on the ball, and, of course, the job and the play made by TJ, who also fell into a pretty good spot as well. But to become someone that disrupts the ball that way and is always in the right place, right time, and executes at a high level is who Luke Hodge is, and many of our defensive players are. I think his preparation has kind of ran its course to where he's now making plays on the field that everyone would expect, because that's how he prepares. So very proud of him. A huge honor for him to be named the Defensive Player of the Week by the Sun Belt. Adam, let me know. Is that correct?
At 1 o'clock.
He will be named that, so don't put that out there. That's why I asked. But certainly happy for him, and expect many of our players to get similar honors as we go.
Hey, Josh, Coach, it's Josh. You mentioned the delay. Just how difficult is that, and how did y'all kind of handle that?
Well, for us, I said it post-game, our indoor is not finished, so we practice that. I think it's important for us to be able to show our football team as many things as they're going to face during games as we can, so they feel prepared. So because of some lightning and rain delays we've had to deal with in fall camp leading up, we've had some similar delays. So we knew exactly what to do, which I went in the locker room and told them, we've done this before. Take your pads off, get comfortable. We'll keep you updated. Make sure you eat, hydrate, discuss anything you want to with your coaches, and then also relax and get to your place where you're ready to play when we get out. Everybody did it. There wasn't a tightness in there. There certainly wasn't a feeling of any anxieties. We relaxed, laid low, and then when it was time to turn back up, we put our pads back on and did it just like we would from practice.
Hey, Coach Davis with WSFA. The penalties really hurt you guys on Saturday. How do you clean that up, and what's your message been to the team about that?
Well, Sundays are off day, Davis, so it was something that I attacked last week and did not do a good enough job as the head coach. I honestly take full responsibility for it, and for that to be the case, it's got to be stopped today when we have our team meeting and move forward in week 3. We can't play football that way and be undisciplined and be where we are right now in penalties per game and especially with our 15-yard penalties that have really killed field position and hurt our football team. So it's got to be stopped. It's got to be an acceptance from our football team and leadership of our football team to understand that we need to stop this now and not let this be a continuation to go into weeks 4, 5, and 6. It's my responsibility, though, and I take full responsibility in it. And I've got to make sure it stops this week. And that, to be honest with you, that's what it's got to happen today. And I think my message will be very clear in our team meeting, and maybe clearer than it's been, that this must stop.
Hey, Coach, this is Julian Overton-Bott with WAKA. You said going into this game, you thought it would accelerate your team's growth. How does going toe-to-toe with a top team like Clemson improve your confidence?
Yeah, I think, confidence comes from preparation and improvement, not from many ways. I think people try to get confident from a feeling or from hoping or what they scroll and see. And I think our football team has gotten confident through a week's preparation. So last week preparation on Tuesday and Wednesday was really good. It was really urgent. We moved fast and knew what kind of effort it would take in order to put ourselves in position to win that football game in the fourth quarter. I think also it involves belief and faith. Our football team had a strong belief and faith in each other that we could go over there and play at the level we did last week. And it's a lesson to us as coaches in our lives and in the game of football. You better have faith and belief, but that has to also come out in your work and prep. And we did those things. The discipline issues are where it got us, but I think if you can't find confidence from that as a football team and staff, you're losing the whole cue of what it is to play a great game and play in the position we did in that game. So, but we got to learn from it the same way to attack it this week. But I believe our players certainly have an understanding of what their level of play can be if they stay to it.
We saw Tucker get a couple of packages in there against Clemson. Is that something you saw in Clemson that you wanted to put in there, or is that something maybe you can expect to see more in the season?
Yeah, I think both. I think that you'll expect to see it more as the season goes. I also think that there's stuff that you were trying to create. If we would have played in a very vanilla approach and our game plan fits, Josh, and tried to go do that and not been as multiple as we were, I think you and I and everybody knows what that would have looked like trying to run the football against that front. So, again, a huge, really a true appreciation for our staff in finding the run schemes that did hit to find rushing yards. Certainly our players and their effort of execution, that was just another scheme to try to fit in there to gain an extra hat and give them a different picture to go. Some of it was inefficient when we tried to do it with Tuck, but I think those reps are going to bode well for us as we build game plans in the future.
Coach, I know you talked about wins and losses and there are no moral victories, but to take a top 10 team to a fourth quarter battle and then have one of the best G5 teams in the country now on your schedule, what would a win do this week for your program and what you want to accomplish this year?
Well, I think, the win is a byproduct of steps towards better and how you play. Like, I think, to be honest with you, does winning ultimately in the end, it's the best way to create strong faith and belief in what you're doing and that your processes are correct. It's also the slipperiest slope, Davis. So for me, it's me concentrating on our football team and making sure our processes are correct and we're improving each week. If we do that, the byproduct will be winning. Does that create a momentum to your fan base, to your locker room, to your building, to all the families that go through this? Absolutely it does. But it's a byproduct of great processes Monday through Friday. And that's the thing I've got to make sure our football team sees, because if we get the desired result on Saturday, well, next Saturday we play a great opponent too. So the process has got to precede win-loss.
What challenges have you seen on film from Memphis they present you guys with?
An opponent now from last year that there's some familiarity with it. Their scheme on defense is very, very multiple, and how they switch fronts, attack you, and muddy up the front. They play great defensive football. They swarm to the football. This is a great defense and one that, again, plays very violent and physical. Offensively, they put you in conflict with their RPO games, much like last week. The quarterback can beat you with his arm and his feet in and out of the pocket. We're familiar somewhat with him as well, as he played at Nevada last year. So, and then of course our special teams are sound as well. So, a formidable opponent, one it's a high level opponent that plays very, very hard and has great schemes as you would expect from a top program. So, another huge challenge for us, and certainly glad to be at home with it. And it'll be another test of our team.
Just kind of curious with the 11 a.m. start. What's kind of your timetable on Saturday morning?
Yeah, we're going to, we will change things up a little bit because it's so much earlier than normal. But our key will be is getting them up early and getting them awake and make sure we move them before we eat so they will have an appetite and make sure and eat because the temperature will rise and we'll have to play fast. And if you don't eat properly and hydrate properly in the morning when our guys usually don't like eating that early, you face issues with cramping and things in performance during the game. So we'll get them up and move them first, and hopefully, John, get their bellies full and make sure they eat well and hydrate well in the morning before we hit it, and then go to our Trojan walk and get going.
Anybody else?
Sarah has a question. Her mic's not working.
Oh. Let's see. The momentum from the team throughout the game, even after mistakes, stayed consistent. How are you guys looking to make sure that you keep that energy going forward towards this weekend?
Well, I think good question, Sarah. So there's two things I've really spoke to our team about to make sure we always keep and take steps in. Like, how can we handle adversity, handling hard, and then connection and staying connected. I think they did that well. I will agree with you. I thought we stayed connected and didn't lose ourselves throughout the game, even through the ebbs and flows of the third quarter. That I'm proud of. What I want us to do is stay connected, not spend any of our energy on an opponent, worrying about any personal fouls and penalties that we can stop. So I'm proud of that, and it is a step in the right direction of how we handle adversity. My challenge now is maybe I need to speak better and more clear. I don't want us to have to handle that much adversity, right? If we can stop handling adversity, that would be the best line of defense. So we've got to make sure we can prevent some that are self-inflicted and keep us connected.